welcome to the Chasing Justice podcast. I'm your host, Chealsia Smedley, and I'm a writer and editor here at Chasing Justice. This season on the podcast is all about civic engagement. But what does that even mean? I know for me, the first thing that comes to mind is voting, or maybe simply just being informed about the issues on the ballot. The last two episodes of the podcast, we focus on voting because this is an urgent aspect of civic engagement. But we really want to help people engage beyond the ballot. Civic engagement is so much bigger than what we do on voting day. So today, I'm excited to introduce a special guest who really walks the walk of civic engagement and lives out his faith by taking action in his community. Tamir Bell is from Rockford, Illinois, and currently works as a political advisor to State Representative Maurice West. Hey, Tamir, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to add that you want people to know about you? What you're passionate about?
Yeah, I'm passionate about my community, about making a difference, and I'm doing that in many different ways, and I'm excited to dig deep into that, and hopefully, my story can inspire other young people to try to make a difference as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So maybe we can start with a simple definition. How would you define civic engagement?
Simply put, civic engagement, it's about taking action. And so in any way, civic engagement is helping your neighbor, but it's also sitting and going to city council meetings. It's social media advocacy on social issues. So just taking action and finding something that you align with from an advocacy standpoint, and then moving forward on letting others know about it.
Yeah, so I would love to hear a little bit about your civic engagement journey because as I understand it started pretty early.
Yeah, my civic engagement journey started really early. I'll start with middle school.
Okay.
In middle school, I actually ran for class president at Kennedy Middle School, and I won. We ran a campaign in the school, put up flyers and built like a mini administration. It was my first experience running for office. And now at the age of 21, I'm taking a step and now in my third time running for office already.
Oh,
so
wow.
One time at school. The second time was in the community as a precinct committee person, elected at 18 years old. And then at 21, running for city council. And so my civic engagement journey started a long time ago. And I'm learning a lot in that process, but it's bigger than the ballot for me, right? Another phase in my community advocacy journey was through the camera. And so I used the camera to tell the stories of businesses and nonprofits and our government to help connect resources to the community. And that grew to, in 2020, covering the civil unrest. And then also connecting the community, telling the story. That was a way that I use my advocacy skills or opportunities to be civically engaged and take action.
What kind of sparked that for you when you were 18 to say like, okay, it's not enough to just be a part of the community, but I want to step out and be the committee person?
Yeah, honestly, I knew that my neighborhood didn't have a leader. Growing up, I always heard my mom say, I just wish somebody else ran for this seat, or I just wish somebody would listen. And that story that my mom shared over and over again was the same story that I've been hearing out in the community. I knew that the time was right to put my name on the ballot and advocate for my community. And the work that we were able to do from 18 to 20 and then now 21, taking a step to run for city council is just so inspiring to me and hopefully to other young people, inspiring them to get involved too.
I'm trying to just even wrap my brain around it. Like, most people when they're 18, they're like, okay, I guess I got to register to vote. And so it seems like for a lot of people, or at least for myself, like my civic engagement journey started then, right? With taking that step to register to vote. But you were already engaged. So can you share a little bit about what that looked like for you in high school?
Yeah. So I don't have my degree in public policy or poli-sci, right? And so to be a political director without that, well, I had to take a different path, and really it happened organically. And this is separate from me running for office, but I have to highlight how I even got there, right? I talked about filming and telling the story. My journey as being elected is I've told the story of people to the person or organization that has the resource, and they were able to bridge that gap and get what they need, or highlight an initiative that needed more support. And I was able to, again, tell that story and bridge the gap. Actually ran on that. But telling the story for our community members was something that I did in 2020, 2021, leading me to becoming a campaign manager, right? All that I do is continue to bridge the gap and tell the story of folks who either need help telling their story or telling a story about an initiative that just needs a little bit more support to drive change and impact in our community.
Cool. Can you share an example of maybe a community story that you saw that made you say, like, okay, let me figure out how to share this more broadly?
Oh, so many. Now I have to be selective, and whoever is watching this, if I don't select yours, I'm sorry. In the Lewis Lemon neighborhood here in Rockford, Lewis Lemon School is an elementary school in one of the city's focus areas, right? Higher crime, lower income levels, disinvestment. We have food desert issue or crises, right? Affordable housing crises. All of those things in an underserved community. Well, the playground was dilapidated. The basketball court was dilapidated, and I thought that the students didn't deserve that, right? Like the neighborhood doesn't deserve this blighted community playground, the only community playground where there was a track, there's a basketball court, picnic tables, a lot of grass for soccer. The students actually they go to recess out there and have to play on a court with, I jokingly say, potholes, right? And we were able to collaborate with the school district, the park district, the city to create more of a wraparound approach to saving the community from blight. And we invested $128,000 into not just the court, but the track, and also enclosing that area for the students to have a safe playing space at Lewis Lemon. Additionally, we put dollars into a pathway to the school because the students were walking on dilapidated sidewalks as well. And so, yeah, the streets are a little bit different around the Lewis Lemon neighborhood, and the sidewalks are too, giving students the pathway to success, in my opinion.
Yeah. What advice do you have for someone who maybe is looking at their neighborhood, right, seeing similar issues, but feels overwhelmed, unsure about, like, how do I even start to make a difference?
How do you start to make a difference? Open your eyes, right? Because there's always something that we come across each and every day to be able to make a difference. But more specifically in a neighborhood, I would say to any young person, if you don't like the way your streets look, if you don't like the way that your sidewalks look, if there's a property in your neighborhood that is blighted, right? There's something that you can do to make a difference. There's the city's website that you could go to report that. You have an elected official that you're able to vote for over the age of 18, obviously, but your parents or whoever is in that neighborhood who is over 18, they are the boss of that elected official. And they have the ability to call, and they deserve a call back or an answer as to why that issue has not been addressed. But then that also gives the opportunity to both parties, the elected official or resource and the person who's trying to make a difference in their community, to collaborate and bridge the gap so other people know, hey, there's a pathway to a better future. There's a pathway to a better neighborhood, and there's a pathway to chasing justice for our community. So yeah, you're never too young to make a difference. For me, I always thought, well, I should tell somebody else to go and handle this because I don't have what it takes to really push this forward. That's a lie. Us as young people, if we don't speak now, we have to speak later. because the things that aren't fixed now probably won't be fixed later for us if we don't speak up now. So we have to advocate for the future that we want.
Very cool. Yeah. I think that's such a good shift, because I think a lot of people will think, oh, my elected official is not going to listen to me, or they don't really care what I have to say, or, I have to cover all this like red tape and like prove myself.
Right,
But to even consider yourself as like, no, I live in this place. I'm the boss of this person. Like,
Yeah.
they have to listen to
Yeah.
me.
I have to paint this picture really quick. We all grew up probably with somebody telling us to clean your room or wash the dishes or mop the floor or cut the grass. Now we're going outside of the four walls of our house, right? No one can tell you what to do inside of your house. Your house can be super clean or super dirty. But when you talk about taking care of the outside of your house, that's important because it impacts other people. If a neighbor isn't cutting their grass, well, the city's probably going to come in and find them. We talk about our sidewalks. That means we all have a pathway to do whatever we want to do. We have to clean our room. We have to clean our house. We have to clean our neighborhoods up. And in doing that, we're practicing how to become a better neighbor, right? A better civic advocate. But really just, I think that's how you rebuild and clean up communities, is focusing inside the four walls first, cleaning up your house, right? Then the outside, cleaning up your area, and then asking a neighbor if they need help cleaning up their side of the neighborhood. And working together to clean up the neighborhood will trickle over and inspire other people to do the same. So all that said, we have to start within and then go out.
I think we can often think like, look out and be like, whoa, the world is so big and like there's so many issues. What do I even do? But to be able to say, okay, what am I doing in my home that can kind of spread out into the world around me? How does your faith kind of play into that?
How does my faith play into that is loving thy neighbor, right? Like you have to love your neighbor like yourself. And I try so hard to do that. How do we just reach out and try to make a difference in someone else's life? My faith is trying to love people. Love people like how I'd like to love myself in that.
Yeah.
Now, more broadly, I think trying to make a difference is just trying to help build his kingdom and do my part. I always say when I speak to students in schools, you don't have the ability to change the world, but you have the ability to make a difference and change your small corner of the world.
Yeah, you're definitely making the idea of civic engagement feel so much more accessible, even to me right now.
I don't want to overcomplicate it, because if I did, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, yeah, I think you have to, like, the fact that's a testament too, like the fact that you are running for office, you're 21, like you're able to see, okay, this is possible. Like, I think we can get so wrapped up in thinking that this is just so much bigger than us. But yeah, it really shows that you have taken the steps to see, like, okay, what is possible for me, and that this is possible for all of us, actually.
that part, right? It's what has been possible for me. I'm someone who has benefited from community resources all of my life, right? The village raised me. That saying, it takes a village. Well, it took one for me. And now that I've been able to benefit from those community resources and connect with the people that strategize around how to give those resources to people, and then be, again, trying to help those people stay in those positions or put new people in those positions, I found that, well, in my area, no one better, right? Like I am that next person to step up in my area, because we haven't had that person in honestly 30 years. And so yeah, just making community engagement accessible is my goal, because I can't solve the world's problems, and I don't want to, right? Because I'm not the only one who lives here. And so if my perspective is not everyone's perspective, how can we come together to build a collective approach to change?
So far in your journey, have you experienced any failures? Or an example of where it was just like, this is not working, and something that you maybe learned from that?
Have I ever experienced failures? Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, See, but I don't fail, I learn. And so I think that, it's the mindset. Truthfully,
Mm-hmm.
like I have come up short. Um, every day, honestly. I mean, I'm no
Mm-hmm.
perfect person, but it's how you bounce back. I have, I think, a unique story on how ageism has impacted my civic engagement experience,
Yeah,
right?
please share.
Uh-oh. Uh, yeah. And I don't like throwing that card out, right? Ageism, racism, all of these things are great talking points, but when you really experience those things, the ism thing, right? Your perspective starts to change about people, about yourself, for the good or it could be for the bad, and you just have to try to stay at zero, stay balanced with that, right? Um, my faith plays a big part in keeping me focused because I know that the calling on my life to serve people is there, and I am anointed and appointed to do this. And
Mm-hmm.
so while I have been left out and boxed out of different positions, it's given me the time and the experience to bounce back better. So in 2022, I ran at 18 years old for precinct committeeman. So the leader of my ward passed away. I was
Mm-hmm.
one of five positions that could have been filled. There was only one of us. And so automatically in other cities and situations, well, that person who served, who was elected already would automatically just be appointed.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, I was over the age of 18 at that point, so I was
Mm-hmm.
qualified. I
Yeah.
was qualified, uh, but I didn't get the appointment. And so I didn't get appointed to the alderman role, but it gave me the time to understand my why and my purpose even more so
Mm-hmm.
that when the time came to run, I could do it in a more humble way, a more postured way, a more focused way, for the better. Like this just has
Mm-hmm.
prepared me to work with the same people who called me too young.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I wasn't appointed, but that didn't stop me. I continued the work, even the next day after finding out that I didn't get that role. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm super excited that I was able to take a failure and learn it for, use it for a lesson.
The you're never too young to make a difference. Is that what came out of that?
No, I think honestly, all I heard was he's too young. As somebody who was young, is young, would absolutely love to hear what I could do to be better for the
Yeah.
next opportunity.
Yeah.
And so if my age is a barrier for me to do this, it's going to be a barrier for other people. And so I have to
Mm-hmm.
break that barrier myself because I'm the one in front of it right now. And I'm the one who knows
Mm-hmm.
about it right now. So break through that barrier
Mm-hmm.
for other people and then turn back and say, hey, this barrier has now been removed. Young people, you have an opportunity to make a difference in your community.
Okay, great. If you could leave our audience with maybe one
Yeah.
takeaway or one step that they could take, what would that be?
It's
Mm-hmm.
the one thing that I woke up to today is a
Okay.
Bible verse, 1 Timothy 4:12. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young. You are never too young to make a difference. You are never too young to chase justice, and you're never too young to take action for what you think is right. And so, if I could encourage any young person to just identify within themselves what they believe and what they care about, your next assignment is to take action in chasing justice for the people around you.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Thank you so much,
No
Tamir.
problem.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. All right, friends, that's a wrap on today's episode. I hope that you learned some things from Tamir. My takeaway is that it's not just civic engagement, but it's community engagement. And I'm going to keep that at the forefront of everything that I do. So remember, we want to hear from you too. So drop us a comment on IG or YouTube, and let's keep the conversation going. And if you haven't already, share, like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Thanks for tuning in. Stay engaged, stay curious, and let's keep chasing justice together. See ya.